And just reading that, you all of a sudden have a real sense that a lot of pieces of the puzzle on what are demons, what are aliens, and some of the way that things were set up, and the ranks and hierarchies, and who was what. And so reading the first 10 chapters of Enoch can really be an eyeful for a lot of people and answer a lot of questions they have about what exactly was happening during pre-Adamic times and post-Adamic times, once Adam and Eve were here. So Enoch, of course, you can read that at SherryTalkRadio.com. Another thing I wanted to talk about tonight was this thing I sent out on my list, and it talks about how there's being able to snoop and spy on you through cable television. And, this is something, started off with something, an email I got from a listener, someone who listens to my archives and my broadcast. And this, basically, he confirmed what I said last year about the HD and plasma TVs. I was referring to the HD TVs as hasten death TVs, because it's basically what they are. And I'll describe that in a little bit. But he said to this, he said, I was listening to your show today. I'm not sure what show he was listening to. But he says, you were speaking of how they would control the masses, but you weren't sure how they would do that. And he says, you see, I work for a cable company. Like what comes to your home, we use RF radio signal. With all the new TV sets that are coming out with HD TV, the computer chip that will be forced on everyone will use RFID, and the TV RF signal and the computer chip will work together. Everyone will have to make homage, I guess that's obeisance, to their TV set. Everyone will be kind of brainwashed, and they will require a certain time of the day to pay homage to the beast. It has been reported that the TV set has a two-way to see inside your house and has been built into your set that hears every word in your home and is transmitted through your electric lines. And that's basically exactly what I have felt for years, been saying for years. And you know what? If you've got these cable boxes, folks, and it isn't nice how they give you a little digital clock on them. So convenient, right? You might want to take black electrical tape and cover the digital clock part, because those are cameras that are inside the box, and they're spying on you inside your home. And now all of these sets from the connectors have two-way listening devices. They can also hear everything you say in your house. So not only can they see you, they can hear you. Some people just put a towel or something over their box and turn it around to face the wall. You don't even have to have that box hooked up to have your cable running. I know this for a fact because last year when we had cable, something happened. A storm came through the area and knocked the box out or something, and so the box was disconnected, and all we had was the connection from the wall to our TV, a straight connection, and it worked fine. The only thing we didn't have was like the pay-per-view channels, and I didn't use those anyway. And some of the other channels, we probably lost about 100 channels or something. We still had like 70 channels on the cable. And you know what, if you need more than 70 channels, you watch too much TV. But, they're being used as spy tools, folks. They're spying on you, they're listening to you, they're watching you. And out through these cable boxes, and not just the cable boxes, but these TVs that are coming out, these plasma TVs, they raised my eyebrows when they first came out to begin with, because I had just been reading about these plasma holes that they had found in space. And plasma is a living substance, folks, and it's just something so demonic about it. It just raises my eyebrows to the ceiling when anybody talks about plasma. Think of poltergeist. Think of how these things travel from nowhere into your house. These, demonic entities, and I'm sure the aliens will be using them as well. But especially demons, because they travel through your electric lines as it is. They can travel through electric lines, they can travel through phone lines, they can travel through mirrors. And now with this HD TV, these digital TVs, this plasma TV coming out, they have a multi-purpose. I don't say twofold purpose, but they have a multi-purpose in that they can use these TVs to not only watch you and listen to you, everything you're saying or doing inside your home. They plan on fully using these for the Antichrist. When he comes to power, he's going to be able to somehow integrate himself through these TVs and use it to put out like a massive hypnosis on everybody that's watching him. And I've been warning about that one for years. As when this Maitreya comes or whatever, and Share International used to portray this a lot on their website, that when Maitreya arrives, he would speak to the entire world at once, simultaneously through the television set, telepathically to everybody. He wouldn't be opening his mouth speaking. He would be talking telepathically to everybody. And this is exactly how they're going to do it through these newer TVs, folks. And somehow be able to transmit some kind of hypnotic signal through them to the people watching it. Because the Lord's been very adamant for His people to not watch TV during these end times, to just turn the TVs off, get them out of your house, get them out of your home, because that's how they're going to be used to destroy you. Another thing is that, if they've got a depopulation agenda, so they want to kill off 500 million people, if you're watching TV, you're alive. And so you're going to be targeted through your TV. I don't know how they're going to do it. We've seen the power of their ELF technology, where you can just be sitting at your computer, and these ELF rays will come through your monitor, and the next minute you feel like you're going to have a heart attack because they're targeting you through your monitor. So just imagine when they pump it up an extra 100 notches to really hurt and destroy and kill people, what they can do through these TV sets to the people that are watching it. And so not only the fact that this Maitreya and this Jesus that's coming can use it to put you in a brainwashing stupor, to mind control you. And I know so many of you say, well, I won't be deceived. They can't get me. And then you go to church on Sunday because someone told you that Sabbath was changed to Sunday and you believed them. Oh, but you can't be deceived, can you? And he says, oh, but the Lord says His elect won't be deceived. Well, guess what? His elect aren't deceived now. So we know we're not going to be deceived later. If you're sitting in a sun god church, you've been deceived already. So you better wake up if you want to be one of the elect that isn't deceived later, because you're deceived now. My hat goes off to a lot of these pastors that are leaving their churches to start their own new congregations where they can speak the truth in boldness and not be afraid of what their congregations are going to do to them. I heard of a pastor recently on an email list. The church council deemed him anti-government, and so they fired him from his church. You know what? The government, we are not subject to our government. We are subject to the Lord. And whenever our government goes against what the Lord says or the Lord teaches, then we are to follow the Lord and not the government, folks. And so hats off to these pastors who will stand up and not be afraid to talk about the wickedness that's pervading our governments today. So many Christians still thinking that Bushes are Christians, and he's an admitted Skull and Bones member, initiate. And if you did 5 minutes of research into the Skull and Bones, they worship the Owl of Molech. They meet once a year to practice child sacrifices, human sacrifices to the Owl of Molech at the Bohemian Grove in San Francisco, of which George Bush Sr. is one of the ranking members there who helps run the place. And so come on, folks. I love the website Christians Against Bush. Christians, finally waking up during his first term, realizing he's all talk and all his talk is a bunch of bull hockey. Because he doesn't walk the walk. He has a pretty strong gay agenda, every kind of sin imaginable agenda, his imperialism agenda of making war on the world, trying to get the world ready for control by the Antichrist. No one has done more for the implementation of the New World Order than the Bush